Hello? Guys, are you in there? Are you here? Hi, everyone. Hello. Hello. Welcome to my living room. Welcome. We've changed locations. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear Hattie? Cheers, everyone. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Missy. What's going on? What's happening? What are we doing? Cheers to this lovely Wednesday. I really had to think about what day it was as I was out walking this afternoon. Like I really had to give it a good couple minutes of thought. So here we are in the living room. I know, guys, I'm going to get that Coke Zero sponsorship if it kills me. I actually, for the last photo shoot that we did Monday, there was a little posing with a Coke Zero, and one of those shots turned out really well. So I think I'm going to use it, and I'll just does Coke Zero have a social media account? I'll just show off my modeling skills to them. So then they'll have to send me some sponsorship money. And then we're going to take over the world with sewing, guys. That's what's going to happen next. You like my neckline? Thanks, everyone. So are you enjoying my little nautical fantasy I'm having today? This is the night and day dress from Charm Patterns. And this is so if you aren't familiar with the night and day dress, it's, the whole idea is it's interchangeable options. So this is the square neckline with the square mitered collar. Oh, thanks, Mom. My mom says I look cute. Thanks, Mom. And ribbon trim on the collar for a little sailor look. This is the short sleeve, and then I just repeated the trim on the sleeve. It's just a little grosgrain ribbon. And then it's the trumpet skirt. So I don't know, guys, you're not gonna be able to see. Ooh, ooh. It's like a little gored, flared sort of pencil skirt, trumpet skirt kind of thing. So hi everyone. Yeah, so the topic today is dress forms. We have been talking about this for a while, about doing this video, and I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to head right into, don't fall, you guys know me well. I'm going to head right into the topic so that people who watch this later aren't like listening to me talk about Drag Race and like lipstick for half an hour before we get to the topic. And we'll just get to the topic, and then we can talk about Drag Race and lipstick and whatever else we need to talk about afterwards. So let's see. Dress forms. Dress forms is the topic. What do I have to say? I get asked about dress forms all the time. And my take on dress forms is that they're not as necessary as people really seem to think that they are for sewing, and definitely not for fitting. And I'm speaking as someone who has bought many dress forms, and I've tried padding them out to fit my measurements, and I've done all sorts of stuff to work with dress forms. And what I've found in the end is that they are a useful tool, but not in the way that people really think that they are. I mean, at least this is my take on it, and this is a very personal take, so you may feel totally differently. But my take is that they are great for a few things. Number one, hem in your dress. Put your dress on this bad boy, let it hang for 24 hours, and then you can just measure up from the ground and get a nice even hem around there without having to ask someone else to do it for you. I mean, to me, if you do a lot of sewing, do a lot of hemming, is that worth, what, $300? I think so, but, it kind of depends. So that is like an excellent use of dress forms. The other reason you might use dress forms is for design purposes. So when you get into draping, pattern making, that sort of thing, it's really handy to have a dress form. I would recommend that you absolutely need a few things for draping purposes. You can't get one of these like fabulous fit forms that don't have any of the like seams or guidelines on them or like the waist tape. You need all of these sort of markers for draping. You need these raised side seams. Here, let me turn it this way a little bit. It's like a raised side seams that you can feel underneath your muslin while you're draping. You need this waist tape with the little pin head so you can feel those as you're draping. The princess seams are handy for draping things like princess seams and darts. And so all of those things, like these little markers, are important. The arm plates are really important so that you know where the sleeve is supposed to go. Like all this stuff is really important when you learn draping. So that's one reason I would recommend having a dress form, and that I would recommend having one with all those seams and pins and waist tape and all that stuff that you need. And then the other reason I would recommend having a dress form is if you are consistently fitting for someone that you don't have near you to fit on. And I kind of run into that with charm patterns in the past year. One of the sizes that we consistently test is a 16H. It's just like a good size for us to be like sewing samples in as we're testing. And we always do a lot of tests in a 16H. And I do have fit models that I use. I have testers that I use, but sometimes you're just going to be sewing up a quick sample in the studio and putting it on a dress form that you've padded out to your specifications. And I've really liked having that 16H dress form for that reason. And what I've done in that case is I have gotten so let's talk a little about like buying dress forms. That's like a sort of separate thing. But the reason I found that handy is that I can like use the bra. I use a, what's the bra called that I like, guys? The Merry Widow, but for plus sizes. The Adelaide by Goddess, the long line bra. It's like a Basque style bra. So I have that in like, I can't remember what the size is, but it's a large cup size. Put it on the mannequin and pad it out so that she has boobs the size that I need and shape that I want. So I really like that. Then I know it has like the bust shape and size I'm looking for because I padded it with a bra. So that's really helpful to have for fitting people that you're not necessarily going to have in your studio every day. In terms of for fitting yourself, I personally just do not find it that helpful. I have been fitting myself for a long time now, and I just don't think there's any substitute for putting a muslin on your body and looking at it and moving in front of the mirror, seeing how it feels, and looking at drag lines. Is it a pain? Yes, because you have to like constantly turn around, and then you're like, you have to like take it off and pin and put it back on and see, and it's just like a whole process. But that's how I have done fitting, and it served me well for myself personally. So I just don't find dress forms that handy for fitting. Even if you can replicate your body, you're never going to replicate the way it feels to be wearing the garment. You're never going to replicate the exact squishiness of your body. And it's more just as, I think, just sort of like, it can be another piece of information, but I don't think it should be like the ultimate fit test. And in that case, I mean, if I am going to be padding out a dress form, there are a few things you can do. You always want to buy it a couple sizes smaller than you. You don't want any of the measurements on the dress form to be your size at all. You want them to be smaller. So if your hip is your largest measurement, go by the hip size on the dress form, find one that's slightly smaller than your hip, and then you're going to pad it out slightly. Okay. So the way that I like to pad my dress forms is by using a bra, a long line bra. So I will just like actually put a bra that I know fits me. The dress form's a little bit big for this bra, but I would actually stretch it onto her. And then I would pad out the cups with fiber fill until I got the shape I want. The thing I don't like about dress forms is that they don't have like realistic boobs at all, or butts. What's that? That's not a butt. I mean, it's a butt, but it's like it's a very flat, smooth butt, unibutt. So I would recommend doing that with your long line bra that you know fits you really well. This is one I really like. This is the Carnival style 745. I like this bra a lot. So, and then for the bottom half, you can even just use a like spandex tube, right? So sew up a tube, put it over the dress form, and then pat it out a little bit. So it's a little bit more curvy, like you need it. So that's my feelings about padding out a dress form. Unibet. And let's see, what else are we going to talk about? Buying dress forms. I have bought so many dress forms over the years. The first one I ever bought was this Fabulous Fit one. I got kind of like enticed by their whole thing of you get this you can pin into this one. It was actually one of my favorite features of it now. You just pin right into it. Other forms like this, you can't pin directly into. You have to like pin with a side sort of movement. So they have this whole Fabulous Fit system that's like it's like these big honkin' pads, like hip pad, boob, and then you put this like spandex tube over the pads. And what I found, what I found was that the pads were just too big. Like it was either like nothing or like 3 inches of hip on the side. And I just couldn't really get the sort of nuances that I wanted in the fit. So I didn't love the system. I kind of used this, but I will say that like the bottom of the form, the wheels and everything are really good quality. So I tend to use it as like a hemming one and like as a display thing for videos. This one, so let's see, what did I try next? I've also bought really high quality forms too. I bought a used Wolf dress form. So if you've ever looked into dress forms, you've probably found out that Wolf is like the most respected brand out there. I have a used one that's not in great condition. I mean, it's fine. I don't really see I don't see why they're so much more expensive than some of the other ones out there. The plus size one I bought was by PGM, and that's the one I've been recommending to people because I was really impressed by the quality of that one. I think we spent almost $400 on that one, but plus size dress forms tend to be a little more expensive, unfortunately. And I think there was another thing about it that made it a little more expensive. Does it have legs? I can't remember, but it was a little more expensive. Their misses range is like $350 or something like that. And for a tool like this, I feel like that is a reasonable amount of money to spend. I have also experimented with the sort of low-cost dress forms. The Shop Company is one. They used to like give a coupon code to my blog readers way back in the day, my old blog. And I will say, like, they have like $200 dress forms, and they can be good starter dress forms. The body of them are really good, but I feel like the bases aren't that high quality. And I have so many dress forms in the studio right now with the wheels like falling off and they're never going to go back in. And I need to find someone who can repair them. But I haven't been like super happy with the long lasting quality of those. And then the other one I have, which is a really, really expensive dress form, and I would only recommend if you're going to be doing a lot of like commercial work, like actual, like running a business where you need to fit things, is by Alvanon, which is sort of like the gold standard for fitting dress forms for people who work in the fashion industry. I actually had to have a phone call with them before I was allowed to spend a few $1,000s on their dress form because they needed to like confirm I had a business. So that was a funny experience and it took a long time to get, but I ordered a lingerie style dress form from them, which you may have seen in pictures in my studio. She has really big boobs and she's kind of squishy and has a more slightly more realistic figure. She has a butt, she has boobs, she has legs, and I found that really helpful for like fitting shorts, fitting things like in the L'Amour family that have those very fitted bust shapes. So, and if I ever want to drape lingerie, I will definitely be doing it on her. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my feeling about dress forms, is that if you're ready to invest, I would say like the mid-range. I really like PGM. I think that their forms are great. And I mean, I guess the last thing I would say is that just like be wary of relying on a dress form for fitting, or thinking that it's going to replace the process of fitting something on your body. Like I said, it's great for learning draping, great for hemming your dresses, great to display your dresses. But I mean, I think a lot of people in the sewing community believe that if they buy a dress form, they won't actually have to go through the steps of fitting something on themselves or asking someone else to assess the fit on their bodies. And I mean, there's also a lot of tutorials in the way of like making your own dress forms from like duct tape and all that stuff. And personally, I would just rather have like a really high quality dress form like this with all of the draping sort of benchmarks, like the raised side seams and all of that, so that I know I'm getting like a really symmetrical professional form. And then if I want to pad out the bust or the hips, I'll do that on my own. So that's my feelings. Those are my feelings. That is my feelings. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, even if you get an exact replica of your body, even if someone could scan your body and create your body, it's never going to be able to move. It's never going to be able to give you fit feedback, how something feels. So that's kind of how I feel. Is it controversial? I don't know. Let me grab this fan while we wait. Guys, look at this. I got this in P-Town last summer. It still has a tag on it. Isn't that sad? Oh, the controversy. I also have another little show and tell thing. I almost wore this today. Is Belinda here? She gave this to me for not this birthday, but my last birthday. Sent this to me from Australia. How cute is this? I know Belinda. Belinda, are you here? Am I just talking about you? I saw her wear this pin one of the first times that I don't know, she was in one of my dressmaking workshops in Sydney. And I was like, I love that. It says Man's Ruin on her tattoo. I was like, I love that so much. And I couldn't find it. And then she like hunted one down for me for my last birthday and sent it to me. How cute is that? I didn't end up wearing it today though. All right. Questions, comments, feelings, anger, unresolved issues. Oh, Cindy, thank you. The Makings of Missouri Jones. I was like, I'm never going to remember the name of who made this pin. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Did I miss any good chatting? Oh, Miss Jones. That makes more sense. Let's see. Hi, Marin. Do I name them? No, I used to, but then it got to a point where I have just too many of them. So, let's see. Do carnival bras have an underwire? I'm too close set for most American and British bras, so I'm being super cautious about a long line bra. This one doesn't. I don't know about their other models, but this 745 does not. I love this bra. It's a great long line bra. It gives you a little bit of a waist cinch. And it has good bust support, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a pointy shape. I'm just reading your comments. All right. Great, everyone. Using a dress form for doing drag costumes is really fun. Basically, I have to strap a couple couch cushions on it to make it work. That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, I've done some serious padding on my plus size form as well. Cheyenne has some twinges of anger. Let it out. Let it out. We're here for you. Any tips for fitting the backs of garments by yourself? I think first of all, always make a muslin. Oh, this is gonna be my new teaching tool. I'm gonna smack you guys when I see you when you're in my classes again. Miss Gertie means business. So let's see, what are we talking about? Fitting a garment, looking at the back. I'm gonna put that down because it's obviously very distracting for me. Okay, so you need to make a muslin. You should put a zipper into your muslin. That's the other thing I will say. And it doesn't have to be put in there well, but what I normally do is I use use whatever zipper technique you find the easiest and fastest. For me, it's lap zippers, and then just put one in really quickly with a basting stitch on your machine. Okay, so you're gonna put a zipper in. If you're fitting just a bodice, still put a long zipper in so you have like a long tail so you can get it over your head and zip it up, because I mean, if the zipper's in the back, you're never going to be able to pin it to be able to see the back. So that's the most important thing, is putting a zipper in your muslin. And then I would say, having a mirror, possibly two mirrors, to be able to really look at your back. Also possibly taking pictures if you have someone handy who can take pictures of your back. Even if they don't know how to fit, say your partner or something like that, if you can have them take pictures of your back so that you can look at it, you can always post it on like the Gertie Sew and Tell, get some fit feedback. That's what I would recommend. But yeah, I've been able to fit the back of my garments just by like kind of looking in a mirror behind me and putting a zipper in the muslin. Thwarp. I love Trixie and Katya. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but did you do a video for fitting a muslin without a dress form? I did a tissue fitting video a long, long time ago, so you could check that out. Would I recommend wearing the muslin inside out to see what alterations are needed? No, I wouldn't. I actually really dislike fitting things that way. A lot of my students will put things on inside out, and then I make them go put them on with the seam allowances on the inside, just because if you're looking at like exposed darts and seams, you can't really see what the actual garment is going to look like. And so I would recommend just pinning everything on the outside of the garment. So like if you need to take the side seams in, you're going to pin the side seams, and then you can transfer those marks to the inside. It's not like you can't transfer that information to the inside of the garment if you need to, or the inside of the muslin. That's my feeling. Oh, Trisha, you're working on your shirtwaist dress. That's awesome. I hope you love it. Colin says a good old-fashioned double mirror for fitting the back. Yeah, hand mirror. Do a sit-down test. That's good too. Joy says, how do you resolve the issue with difference in size from corseted versus uncorseted on both patterns and on dress forms? Well, I mean, you're always going to want to measure yourself wearing whatever foundation garments that you're wearing, you plan to be wearing with the garment, right? And so then you would need to make any changes, most likely taking in the waist on the patterns. It's very simple to take in the waist. You're really just taking in the side seams. And then for dress form, it's a little bit more complicated to sort of replicate a very heavily corseted look. But in terms of just like a subtly cinched silhouette, you could get that with just the bra and padding. You could even pad it out a little bit more and then cinch it in with a corset, but I am definitely not an expert on corsetry or wearing corsetry. I'm more familiar with just kind of like more subtle 50s style shapewear that isn't going to give you like inches off your waist like a corset would. So that's kind of that's my perspective. Josh says self-timer photos are always the best thing when you're sewing alone. Totally. That's a great point too, Josh. Yeah, Jesse says seam allowances on the inside makes a difference. I can see where I have puckers or pointiness. Totally. That's my feeling about it too. I feel like if I'm looking at seam allowances, I can't even like read the muslin. You know what I mean? I need to have the seams on the inside. All right, everyone. Have I answered your questions? Are you enjoying the topic? Guys, guess what I did today? I walked up to Lux Optique and returned those sunglasses, and I paid for my new ones, my steampunk Art Deco fantasy. I feel like they're gonna look really good with this outfit. Will you just humor me for a second? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do we love it? Do we love them? My friend Ryan, who works there, he told me I'm pronouncing the name of these glasses incorrectly. So these are by a Belgian designer, and I was pronouncing it Theo because that's how it's spelled to this dumb old American. And it's actually Teo. All right. So just correcting myself. I don't want to look like a rube to the world stage. So yeah, I'm loving them, loving these Teo glasses. Huh. Feeling this. 1930s Gertie. I know, I'm like a little like sailorette just hitting a beachside resort in the 30s. It's a look, right? Are we feeling? I'm just gonna wear these. Oh, hey, Coke Zero, are you watching? Are you watching? Ding. Ah, I almost lost the case. Get the fan. Good idea, Jesse. Oh God, I keep almost dropping this. Just a casual look. Just a casual beachside look. What do we think? Oh, yeah, add the Coke. Good point. Good point, guys. Just casual. I just kind of threw this look together. I should really take the tag off this fan. All right. So that was that. Are we enjoying this? Enjoying this look? Workout time. How do I spell the glasses? Theo. Like Theo Huxtable. I'm sorry. It's no, like Teo by Tim Van Steenbergen. Yeah. Ryan explained it all to me. It's a high fashion brand. Ryan really knows fashion in a way that I don't. I just know vintage. If Coke doesn't sponsor me now, they don't deserve me. Thank you. All right. This is after we leave the sanitarium. Oh my gosh. I love you guys. What would I do without you guys? Okay. There was a question. Colin says, when doing a muslin for a dress you plan to wear with a corset. Oh, that's not a question. Okay. But what does he say? I tend to leave a little room in the waist, hip, and adjust the garment by garment for the fit. Okay, that's a great point, Colin. So you would leave a little room, leave some seam allowances, and then would you do a final fitting, hopefully? Like right now, you're probably not doing final fittings, but yeah, one problem I find in things that I'm going to wear with a corset is that I'm not always going to wear them with a corset, but I really only tend to wear actual corsets for photo shoots. So usually I will wear a corset under a dress and then just pin it. So I'll fit it with just like the Merry Widow or whatever bra I would actually wear with a dress on a day-to-day basis. And then if I'm going to wear a corset, then for a photo shoot, I would pin it in the back. For like everyday life, you might want to like wear a cinch belt or something like that with it. to sort of hide the extra room. But like I said, I don't cinch that much that it's going to make a huge difference. I might lose like an inch off my waist with a corset. It's more to get like the silhouette, like the shape. Leave the ease in the muslin and make adjustments there. All right, thanks, Colin. You had a stream with your class last night. It was nowhere near as fun as these are. Thank you. I have a whole pile of accessories. Do you want to do a Grey Gardens accessory sort of thing? I'm like the character out of the novel. Let's see. I have a whole pile of accessories right here from an exclusive range of brands. It's not really. I like to have sort of a nice range in my accessories, from like really cheap to more designer stuff. Colin says, I usually make dresses to fit myself without a corset, but put a waist tape that cinches in when I do use a corset. Ooh, love that tip. Okay, so these are like $5 costume sunglasses. I like these a lot too. So in stark contrast to the exclusive Belgian designer sunglasses, these are fun. Am I wearing fuzzy socks today? No, I'm not. I'm bare feet today. Bare feet. I'm actually a little warmer today, thank goodness. That is a hot tip, Colin. All right, so yeah, these are like your 50s costume sunglasses. You can get these like on Amazon for like $5. And they come in a lot of different colors, little rhinestones. That's fun. Let's see. This is a totally random collection of accessories, guys. These are all things I was thinking about using on Monday for the photo shoot. How about this for fun? This is a fabulous tropical hair flower from La Casa de Flores, who I really like her work. She sells on Etsy. She has a lot of beautiful stuff. I think she actually like hand paints these flowers. I could be wrong, but they've got these little dots in them. Those are really fun. So love these. Love these flowers. Sort of double lily kind of action. Oh, and like vintage scarves we were talking about. These are like $2 each, guys. So this is like a orange chiffon, like nylon chiffon hair scarf. These are fun to do little like, little bows and stuff. Here's another vintage scarf. This one I think I actually spent a little bit of money on. Why do I think that? I think this is a designer. Does it have a, look how pretty this is. So some vintage scarves can be expensive. Vera, who is this, guys? Vera, you guys know more about accessories than I do. Vera. Some vintage scarves can be expensive because they are like signed designer scarves. So I feel like this was a similar one. I like rectangular scarves for doing like the kind of thing I'm doing today. So I like to snap up these like long rectangular scarves. I don't think it's Vera Wang. Missy says Vera is a 1950 designer, so just Vera. Yeah, so I think this one very popular. Thanks, Missy. I need to know. These cotton ones, Vera Newman. Thank you. They can get pricey. They can. I feel like vintage scarves are either like $2 each or they're like $200 each. Like if they're a special designer, or anywhere in between. So let's see. Then I've talked about these before. I bought these like in a little boutique in P-Town a couple summers ago, and I haven't been able to find them since. These long cotton gauze hand-dyed scarves. It's the same as the one I'm wearing now. These are great. So guys, guess what? I just got some fabric. Stay here. Don't leave. I just bought some fabric from B&J to see if I could kind of replicate these scarves, and I found some great fabrics for this. One is this is a rayon gauze. Look how nice that is. I just got a 1/4 yard of each. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a little YouTube tutorial, like a little like 10-minute little like piece of candy YouTube tutorial where I show you how to do the like self fringe with the threads. So this one's really pretty. This is rayon. You can see how nicely that drapes. I like this one because it's nice and wide, so I can use the full width of the fabric. It's like 60. And then I also thought I would try some of their cotton gauze. And this one is more like the original. I'm pretty excited about this. Ooh, look at that red. It's like a crinkle, cotton crinkle gauze. And it's like a double layer of gauze. So I'm going to be doing, yeah, just a little like YouTube video that I think will be fun for people who are not yet initiated to our little vintage cult here. And I will show how to like sew them and pull the threads with the tweezers and then do a little tying thing. I think could be really fun. Let's see. Good tips, good tips. I'm gonna take a break. Yeah, so let's bring them all over. Everyone's gonna be wearing turbans this summer at home. Let's see. Oh, here's another one I bought it in P-Town. There's this little shop that's like full of incense and like various global things. I don't know where this scarf is from. I feel a little bad, like I should, but there was really nothing on there telling me where in the world this scarf is from, but I love the purple color. That one's really nice. I also got some little embroidered like Japanese slippers from there. Very fun. And then if you're not into like the huge scarves, you know what can be really fun, as I pull out 18 bangles? You know what can be fun? This is my favorite scarf of all time that I wear the most, or I used to wear the most in my day life. I think I go for a little more drama these days, but in my younger, more subtle days, I loved this scarf. It's like, I don't know how wide it is, guys, maybe 18 inches by 18 inches. And the way I would wear this is to just make the triangle and then roll it up into one little thing like this. And then you can just do like a tiny little knot on the top. It can be really cute. These are all, I can never get into this look, but these are also cute for doing the little like, oh, I'm just a little Parisian girl, just so casual. I don't know. I just always feel like such a poser when I do this. I can't, guys. So that's fun. Bangles. Should we look at bangles? I love bamboo bangles. I have a ton of them. I really struggle with bangles because I have tiny little bird wrists, and I really need like a small bangle. So it's kind of hard to find like petite sized bangles, but Splendette does make them. I love when Splendette makes these tiny baby bangles for us little bird wrist people. Yeah, so they every now and then will do, I can't remember, what do they call it? Maiden size. They're like different. Yeah, so if you have the opposite problem, if you have like bigger wrists, they have 3 sizes, which I really like because wrists vary so much from person to person. They have like a maiden, and then their standard size, and then their Duchess. How do you like that? Which is their bigger size of bangle. So I'm a little upset because for a while they were releasing all of their main collections with everything in the maiden, so that I was getting these like great colors, like the candy colors in the different thicknesses. And I was really loving that. But I saw recently on a post, they said they just don't sell enough of them to really justify doing it that much anymore. So Splendette is great for your like fake light fantasies. They make little coordinating earrings with all of their bangles. Look at these. I don't remember who made these adorable earrings, but I love them so much. A little yellow, little Hawaiian flower. Yeah, so wow, this has gotten random, huh? My raffia earrings, huge fan of these. Hey Muchachita is one of my favorite earring brands. These are so cute. Ooh, I love bamboo hoops with a little flower. How cute is that? Yeah, wow. We covered a lot of ground there. There was a question. Mina had a question about my handbags. Miss Gertie, thank you for addressing me properly. Miss Gertie, could you share your Luke's Chila? Is that how it's pronounced? Luke's Chila straw bag collection? I would love to, but let's see. I think they're at the studio. Maybe I'll bring them home and we could look at handbags one of these days. Lux Chila. Let's see. Marin says, I love bangles, but they're such a pain when you're on a computer all day. I agree. And also Hattie hates bangles. She hates when I wear them because they like clack together when you wear them and she gets scared every time she hears it. She's a little scaredy cat. Child-sized bakelite. Oh, interesting. Bow and crossbones and splendette for small wrists. Sandra says, do you do anything to keep the scarf from slipping off your head? I don't. I don't know why, but with these scarves, I just don't have a problem, especially because the cotton one tends to like grip your head a little bit more. I find that I need like I need to like work my hairstyle around the scarf to make it grip somehow. Like with my hair down, the weight of my hair is kind of holding it in place, I guess. And then if you're gonna do like an I Love Lucy kind of like updo, you want to like do some sort of structure under the scarf to get the scarf to kind of like hold on to your hair. So I did do a tutorial last week for bumper bangs and a hair scarf where I talked about how I do that look. And yeah, you can also just kind of, I saw Miss Victory Violet did like a little thing. She'll like kind of roll her hair down into like a little ridge at the bottom before she puts her scarf on so that she'll have something for it to grip onto. And that's a handy tip too. So yeah, you just need to think about like, what is the scarf going to be grabbing onto? I don't love having to put bobby pins in the scarf. I just find it super annoying and I don't like how it looks. So I try to figure out how to like work in some structure, some sort of plan to get it to stick to my head. I made you blush, Mina. Small wrist to medium hand size. Don't upset Hattie. Priorities. Disney Dress Shop has bamboo hoops with little tiki birds in them, like the Enchanted Tiki Room. I've got to go, guys. I gotta go order something online. That's really good to know. I'm gonna be doing that after this. Oh, Erica, that's a bummer. Hey, Muchachita, they're closed since November. Bummer. I'll have to be extra careful with the ones I have. Okay. Oh, Jenny girl, love the rainbow leopard print bangles. Yeah, those were great. Yeah, all right. You love a good show and tell stream. There's so much more where this came from, guys. Yeah, I've been collecting accessories for many years now. When I used to just work with Butterick and like, so in the like era when I was just designing for Butterick and writing my books, I would totally rely on like stylists to bring accessories. And like for my books, we used to like up until Gertie Sews Jiffy Dresses, we used to hire stylists to bring shoes and accessories. And then starting with like the era of Charm Patterns and Jiffy Dresses, that's when I started doing all of this styling for my own shoots. So now when everything you see in the photo shoots is in my house or in the studio. So all of that stuff belongs to me, and I really like the process now of styling my own shoots, and I found that it's made like a big difference in really feeling like the aesthetic is like truly mine. And but it has sort of wreaked havoc on my storage situation. I actually, Shame, when I started working with Shameless Pinup, who does the photography for Charm Patterns, one of the things Angela said to me, the photographer, and I will never forget this because I was like so pleased with myself. She told me that I should open up a styling, like sort of rental agency with all my shoes and handbags and jewelry and stuff. I was like, that means she thinks I did a good job. I was like so pleased with myself. So maybe someday I'll be a stylist. I don't need a stylist. I am style. You're sweet. Aggressively excited. I do get aggressively excited sometimes. Yeah, it does mean that I tend to collect things just for the purposes of photo shoots, which I mean, it is my job, so I guess it's okay. But I do like I'll buy things like several fans. Though to be honest, I just enjoy. I enjoy this process. Huh. Rachel, you can always just rewatch the stream from the beginning once it's over, and even like once the video has processed or whatever YouTube calls it, you can also replay the live chat, which is great. So if there's any comments you want to see or like see what people were saying, but you have to give it a couple hours because it always takes live videos a little while to process on YouTube. Oh, thank you. You're awesome too. Let's see. Colin asked, have I ever designed any of my own accessories such as hats, etc.? I actually did a few courses in millinery at FIT, which was really fun. And so I got to actually make hats and use all the equipment there to do like the steaming and all the like felt shaping and all of that. So I did a couple like collections, student collections of hats for FIT. This has been a long time ago now, though. And I did really like that. It was really fun learning that process. But other than that, no, I haven't really done any accessories design. The strawberry wedding, Jen. Oh my gosh, Jenny, you remember that? Yeah, I had a one of my collections, my student collections was a like a strawberry like picnic themed bridal collection. So that was really fun. Yeah, so yeah, millinery is really fun. Thank you. The mother-in-law hat. Guys, I don't even remember the mother-in-law hat. Which was that the one with the ants on it? I can't remember. Yeah, the turban. Was it the turban? Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that collection. So need an easy beret pattern to match my boleros. Yeah, I mean, knitting. We're all into knitting these days in quarantine. You could knit your own hats and scarves and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't tend to make or design many accessories. Yeah, the thing about millinery is you do need the equipment for it. And that was the nice thing about taking those classes at FIT. And this was when I lived in New York City, so it was more convenient to like go, take night classes. You could use like the crazy amount of hat blocks they had there. And then the big thing is like the ovens that you like, I can't remember what the words are now, essentially bake the hats in, and the steamers like the the like industrial steaming equipment that you would need to like actually stretch a felt hat and all of that. It was really cool to work with. I don't know who is teaching in that program anymore, but there were two professors that I took classes from, and they were like polar opposites of each other. One was like very laissez-faire, like she would just like bring her dinner to class and just kind of like I don't think she was older. I think she was kind of over teaching, and she would just kind of like tell us stories, and like I can't believe we actually learned any millinery. But there, and then the other teacher, so she taught, that first teacher, she taught all of like the blocking classes with like felt and straw and all of that. And then there's another course for like sewn millinery, so where you actually like make patterns and sew like some of the basic shapes like sailor hats and berets and all of that. And they're two totally different types of millinery. And so that was actually like fabric hats. And that teacher was like the polar opposite. She was hardcore. And she's the if you ever hear me talk about in my videos how I had a teacher like criticize my gigantic notches, it was her. She I got like I every time I make a notch in fabric now, I think of like how she told me that my notches were like disgustingly ginormous. Stupid Midwest. Yeah, it was great. I'm really glad that I did it. I thought about like going for the whole certificate. I think I took 3 or 4 classes, and you need to take something like 5 to get the certificate. And I kind of felt like I learned what I wanted to know, and I wasn't going to like pursue it that much more. So for me, not getting the certificate wasn't a big deal, but I'm traumatized. But I have, I have classmates who went on to like, study millinery in London and like become actual milliners and like work in that field. So I feel like it really just gave me a great appreciation for what milliners do and millinery design. And it's also why, I talked a little bit yesterday, was it yesterday, about like, buying accessories rather than asking to borrow them. Like I really believe in that. And I've bought some like high-end hats for photo shoots, and having studied millinery, it kind of gives you a sense of like why they cost what they do. And one of my favorite designers is Awan Golding. I've mentioned her here before. She made that little beret with the net veil, and also that little straw hat that I wore for the night and day shoot that says bonjour on it in ribbon. And you guys, all those hats that have like raffia sun hats that have like writing on them that they're now sold like from China for like $8 a piece, and they say like bridesmaid or whatever they say on them. She pretty much inspired that trend with her bonjour hat, which is amazing. So yeah, there's like a real, I don't know, there's a real power in millinery, and yeah, I just really learned to appreciate it. All right, everyone. Marin says, I follow Millistar in Austin on Instagram, and I have a hard time convincing myself I don't need a $500 hat. You do. You do need it, Marin. I'm sure there's a reason. Is it tax deductible? Can you wear it for a photo shoot? There's got to be something. All right, everyone. So if you missed the dress form talk, just like go back to the beginning or rewatch this in a couple hours, and you can hear me talk about my thoughts on dress forms. Yeah, I think it'll be good. All right, everyone. Is that it for the day? Colin says, I have plans to do a Princess Peplum Stanwyck suit with a matching hat. Just got to decide on a color. That sounds fabulous. Do it. Everyone's like egging Marin on to buy a hat. Everything's tax deductible now. Henry's doing well. Every now and then he coughs a little bit, so I'm kind of just keeping an eye on it. He's found a really funny spot to sleep today across the room, and it's kind of like on a pile of fabric and patterns with a pillow on top that I just kind of placed there. So yeah, he's loving his life, living the good life, feeling fabulous. Feeling the fantasy? You feeling good, Mr. Higgins? He seems fine. Yeah. So, good news, everyone. I did get the photos off for editing as well as the videos. So, we have something really exciting coming your way soon. And I will, Higgins, yeah, that's his last name. Well, it's his middle name. He's named after Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady. So, he's Henry Higgins Hirsch, which is my last name. So, excuse me. Bobby says, I feel like you need to make feeling the fantasy pins for the charm site. That's a good idea. I love that idea. I'll look into it. That would be really fun. Feeling the fantasy, feeling fabulous, loving life, loving my look. Is that too much for a pin? Okay, everyone. So, what am I trying to say? Tomorrow, I'll be back. I don't know what the topic is yet, but we'll have a topic for tomorrow, maybe. And I did all of my like administrative stuff I needed to do, got a lot of stuff out of the way off the to-do list today. So tomorrow I can just prep for the next shoot that I'm doing on Friday, which is a video shoot for June Patreon. June Patreon. I can't wait to show you what that is. I think you're going to be really excited about it. So that shooting video on Friday and then shooting photos for that, I think on Monday or Tuesday or whenever the weather kind of cooperates. Shoes. You guys want to do shoes tomorrow as a topic? All right, we can do that. What happened with my Animal Crossing? I'm just like plugging away at it every day. I just made a bridge for the first time, so that's exciting. I have pink braids and a rainbow dress. So things are coming along. It's just slow. My pocket camp, on the other hand, is fabulous. Shoes. Okay, everyone's into the shoes idea. Great, great, great. Okay, shoes tomorrow, everyone. We're gonna do it. Awesome. So thanks, guys. This was really fun. Always fun to see you, to hang out, and yeah, have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great morning. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous evening. Stay fabulous. Feel the fantasy, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.